The world is turning more and more visual fast. The main reasons for this are content overflow. Almost 5 billion pieces of content is uploaded every day. Decreasing attention span. The average human attention span is now 8 seconds. That's a second less than goldfish. The human brain processes visual information 60,000 times faster than text. If you and your organization want to get your voices heard, it's time to meet the power of visual storytelling. To make things easy, we've created the Visual Storytelling Framework. This marketing methodology walks you through the choices you need to make when creating, planning, and telling your business story. And let's start with Shlomi, who will tell you about making.
Thank you. So we start with story making, which really represents, what is the identity of your product or service that you're trying to market. So story making has 3 steps. The first step is setting, like any story has 3 acts. In setting, we actually provide you a backstory of your company. We talk about your target buyer personas. And then we try to understand what they really want. And then we move to the second step, which is the conflict. So every good story has a conflict, a problem that your hero is trying to solve. So in this stage, we're trying to understand what is the problems that your buyer persona is trying to solve. And we also focus on targeting certain emotions and certain meanings. What would it mean to them to solve the problem? And then the last piece is really the resolution. The resolution of the story is really representing your product, your service, what type of solution you are providing for your buyer personas to solve the problem. So the output from the story making is really the meta story, and the meta story answers 2 questions, the why, and then provide more information about the what and how. So with the meta story, we hand it over to my friend Vila here, that's going to talk about story visualizing.
Thank you. So we take the meta story and in story visualizing stage, we turn it into a series of supporting stories or mini stories that could be actual videos, infographics, other forms of visual platforms. Our story visualizing breaks down to 3 steps. First one being scripting, where you create the concrete scripts for your videos and other formats. Second step involves creating the assets, shooting your video or doing graphics design and concept planning for your infographics and so on. From shooting, we move to editing, how to edit your videos or other materials so they tell the story that you are really after. And once you have your assets, you get to the storytelling.
And so finally then you get to tell your story, which means distributing your different stories across social media, digital media, and engaging with your audiences. But actually, it's not finally, since you'll be doing this from day one, at the same time as the earlier parts of the framework. So it's all simultaneous and synergetic. And the 3 parts of storytelling are strategy, where you're looking at the buyer's journey and where your buyers and customers and community is along that journey. Engagement, where you're seeing what is working best and what kind of stories are working best on which media and platforms. And optimization, where you're really measuring and optimizing your different messaging. And with that, gentlemen, high five.
Good stuff.
Visual Storytelling Institute and the VSX course was born to help companies, governments, and nonprofits help their stories stand out in this increasingly noisier environment.